Hello and welcome to Too Old and Too Slow. And in this episode you join me here in the south of France and then up in Croft for the next round of the classic Formula 4 Championship. I've got a lot on my mind. I'm thinking about the weekend ahead. I've got a few days here in Nice before I head home. I was going to test on Friday at Croft, but unfortunately I don't think my flying schedule will allow me to get home in time to drive up on Thursday evening for the testing session on Friday. What I'm going to have to do is try and concentrate my efforts on Saturday morning in free practice. We've got 20 minutes free practice before qualifying in the morning on Saturday, and then the race Saturday afternoon. It's going to mean I'm going to have quite a busy Saturday, well, Saturday morning anyway, but it's unfortunately what I've got to do because I have to fly to get paid to earn money to go racing. Anyway, let's see how I get on in the free practice. Croft is a track which is based on an old RAF airfield, and it's a real challenge. It's got some fast flowing corners, technical element to it, and it's just great fun to drive. So let's head out and see how I get on in this 20 minutes of free practice. So the plan in this free practice was to concentrate on 3 different sections of the track individually, but that didn't work out because it became apparent pretty quickly that there's oil on the racing line. I got the car up to temperature. I checked the brakes were working okay because I've replaced the brake pads, and decided to come in and fuel the car up and concentrate on getting myself ready for qualifying for the race. I've got about 45 minutes until I'm out, so refuel, check the tyre pressures and make sure the levels are correct before I launch the car for qualifying for this race. Time to hit the track and qualify. Usual rules apply. 3 laps to qualify for the race. So I do 3 steady ones, 3 bankers, and then try and build my speed. I've got new brake pads in the front. I think I've bedded them in, but as I hit the complex, I can't seem to slow the car. It's almost as if the brakes aren't working at all on the front. So a little bit of runoff and a spin, but not to worry. I realised it was probably due to the new brake pads, and I carried on through Croft here, and the same thing happens again. The car just doesn't seem to slow down. I don't think I've bedded the new brake pads in enough. My lap times are coming down, and I just need to attack a little harder, and I go around the hairpin and the car dies, absolutely dies. Hand goes up to warn people, and I can probably roll it down towards the pit lane. Look inside, can't start the car, but then I realise I've turned the switch off. I must have knocked it as I was going around the hairpin. Car started up straight away, and I'm good to go. Glance at my mirrors and I can see Jordan Harrison, who was a club champion a couple of years ago and a very fast driver. My plan is let him through, and then I'm going to sit on his tail. I know he could potentially qualify on pole, so I'm going to sit on him, get a tow down the straight, and hopefully this will help me get a slightly better qualifying time. Unfortunately, he's getting away from me a little bit. He's quick through this part. Anyway, he goes off down the straight, and I'm going to try and sit with him, but I seem to lose a toe. And then he slows down. Actually, I think he's trying to help me, and following conversation after the qualifying, yeah, he slowed down to help me catch up, so I can follow him through this very fast section through the Jim Clark S's down to Croft. With every corner I'm gaining confidence and getting quicker and quicker. It's a real learning experience. I can learn the lines off somebody who's got more experience than me. As I cross the line, I do so with a time of 1 minute 33.8, which is at least a second quicker than I was last year, so I'm delighted. So with that lap I qualify 14th, and here we are, race 1. I'm starting on the left hand side, and just behind me is Stuart Kestenbaum, and in front is Alan Fincham. As ever, it's always a bit of a congestion around the first corner, and people are jostling for position, and it's just trying to find an empty bit of track. I'm forced a little bit wide, but I managed to hang on to my position initially. As I bounce it off the curb and head down the straight towards Tower Bend, we can start to look at the main subject of this video, which is the art of the overtake. Stuart got a good run behind me, and he's up on the outside as we get towards Tower Bend, and comes across and legitimately overtakes me. And that was a good move from somebody who's been doing this a very long time. And we look at another overtake in the same race. This is Cal, who's behind me. He gets a good run up behind me as we head down the same place, down to Tower. I'm covering the right hand side into the corner, and he just goes up the inside, outbrakes me, and that is another really good overtake. But he doesn't get away from me quite so easily, so I've got to try and put something back to overtake him. In a couple of laps things change slightly. I'm putting pressure on Stuart. He runs a little bit wide through Hawthorne, and I get a good run up the inside, and that puts me ideally positioned to get past him through the chicane, and I can try and get a toe off Alan. So I'm getting a good run down the straight, and I overtake Alan. Probably a little bit too easily. I think there's something wrong with him. I'm a bit distracted, and then Stuart comes up the inside to take the place back. So here we are, a couple of laps further on, and my camera slipped a little bit, so apologies. So trying to get around Stuart at Tower. He gives me enough room, but I just don't have the confidence to go in a little bit quicker, and I think if I did I would have got past him, and then I would have potentially been away. On the last lap, and I need to make a move now to try and get past Stuart. As the left-hander into complex comes up, he defends the left and I go for the right, and he blocks me, and I'm put two wheels on the grass and spin. And unfortunately that's how the race finishes. I finish 12th in the first race. So I'm starting 12th in this race, got a good position on the inside, and same again, launch off the line and watch the traffic on the right hand side. There's Stuart. I've got a good run off the line, and we all get concertinaed into the first corner. As the race progresses, the pack spreads out a little bit, and I find a car in front, and I fancy my chances here. So I feign to the left, and he covers that, and I go to the right, and that gives me the inside line into Tower Bend, and that gets the job done. And I'm on the hunt for Stuart again. Behind me there's a bit of traffic. The car I previously overtake is going to try and take the place back. He goes down the inside, and there's faster cars coming through who failed to finish the first race. That's Tony on the right hand side in the blue car. I'm trying to give enough room for him without just giving the place away. So unfortunately I lost that place I just took, but I'm going to try and see if I can hunt the guy down and catch him back. We're bunching up a little bit behind Stuart, and that's Colin in the yellow car coming up very close behind me. Almost gave me a little tap there, and it's a run down to the first corner, which is Clairvaux. And Colin is going to come up on the right hand side. He's got a really good drive out of there, and he's going to try and outbrake me into the first corner, and which he does. I don't get in his way, and the car in front just slides wide and spins. So across the line, you can see in my mirror it says Tony's coming up on the right hand side. I'm going to make a decision not to actively block him, just try and drive through this corner as fast as I can, and hopefully that'll keep him behind me, and that seems to work okay. As we bounce to the chicane, I glance behind me, I can see that Tony's coming up behind me. He's got the draft, so he's got the toe, and he just jumps on the inside and slides past round Tower Bend. So a few more laps further on, Alan Fincham in the Van Diemen comes up behind me. He's been doing this a while, he's a very fast driver, and so we're going to see how he gets past me. He just goes on the outside, the left-hander into the complex. He's got a lot of grip out there, a lot of confidence. I think I've probably got the same amount of grip, but I slack in the confidence. Continuing the theme of this video, which is the art of the overtake, see how Alan Fincham gets past Stuart. He's pretty fast, he just puts a car side by side through Croft, and he goes through. He is side by side with Stuart, make sure Stuart can see him, and just drives through. So that was a really nice overtake from Alan Fincham. Having studied a few people who've got past me, I've decided this is the best place to take Stuart. So good toe out of the chicane, and I'm trying to find room on the outside to drive round the outside of Stuart, and he's got the inside line, and we have given each other enough room, but we are side by side through the Jim Clark S's. Seen the last lap board, and I need to make a move, so I'm thinking about the best place to do it. I think Croft is one place, so I go alongside Stuart here. I'm fully aside, but closes the door on me, and there's only one real opportunity I can see, and that's the left-hander into the complex. I don't see the car behind me, which is a Crosley 25F, same as mine, driven by Grace Parkinson. I'm focusing fully ahead, and Stuart's blocking me, and I'm blocking Stuart, and she is given the open door, and she just drives on the inside of both of us. So that's really well driven by Grace, and slight frustration for me. I was so focused with the car in front that I leave the door open, and she can just drive straight past me. And that is the end of the race. So that's how the last race finished. I finished 13th, and it was a great battle. As I said to Stuart at the end of the race, that every lap I do behind him I'm learning, and I will get past him. So I've got one more race this season, which is at Silverstone, and I cannot wait. I think the car's making good progress, and I think the driver's coming along a bit as well. So please leave comments below and let me know what you think, and if you can give me any advice on the art of the overtake, please do let me know. So thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you next time.